From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Tuesday, April 16th. There's a fever in Indianapolis. Pretty warm outside, too. You could see some showers or storms possible today. Mostly going to have a dry time, and then later on this evening, do expect some rain and storms. We're following breaking news this morning. A Hendricks County Deputy has died overnight, killed on duty while helping after a crash. His death involved power lines. The sheriff indicates the deputy was electrocuted at the scene of that crash. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez has the latest information from outside the Marion County Coroner's Office.
We just learned that Deputy Fred Fissler's body will be transported back to Hendricks County at 9:30 this morning. So here in about an hour and a half, there should be another escort to transport him back to his home county. This all happened just before midnight, just north of Plainfield, when Deputy Fissler responded to that crash where he came in contact with those power lines. His body was transported here to the Marion County Coroner's Office just before 5 this morning behind a police escort that we actually followed here. Deputy Fissler has been with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Office for just 2.5 years. The sheriff says the events leading up to his death began with what happened to be a routine car crash.
At 11:49 p.m., Hendricks County deputies responded to a single vehicle crash near Plainfield. Deputy Fissler arrived at scene at 11:54 p.m. At 11:57, a motorist was also an eyewitness, observed Deputy Fissler down and used his radio to notify dispatch of an officer down.
The sheriff says that's also when they learned that Deputy Fissler had come into contact with live power lines at that crash scene. He was rushed back to Eskenazi Hospital here in Indianapolis, but despite the efforts of doctors, Deputy Fissler died earlier this morning. We also saw several IMPD officers responding to Deputy Fissler being taken to the hospital and escorting his body to the coroner's office. IMPD put out this statement on social media saying, "Our thoughts and prayers and support are with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Office following the passing of Deputy Fissler. May he rest in peace."
Our heart is broken for the Fissler family, for our department family, and for our community family. I hope that everyone will come together and show honor to a true hero of our community.
Deputy Fissler's body, we just found out that will be transported back to Hendricks County at 9. We'll continue to keep you guys posted on air and online at wishtv.com.
We're following more breaking news. 2 men are dead and one is critically injured after a shooting that police say happened with children in a home. Officers say it happened just before 1 this morning at the Roland Manor Apartments near 20th and Ritter Avenue on the east side of Indianapolis. Police say there were 2 kids inside the apartment at the time of the shooting, but both are safe. Investigators also say they think a woman was involved and a fight led to the shooting. So far, no arrests have been made and the victims' identities have not been released. More breaking news. State police say there's been a school bus crash on I-70 westbound just east of Meridian. It's a bus from Decatur Township. Troopers say the bus overturned. Thankfully, the students on board only suffered minor injuries.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark.
It's official. Caitlin Clark is coming to Indianapolis. The Indiana Fever quickly erased any doubt last night in the draft, choosing the Iowa superstar. Our Angela Morian caught up with Clark one-on-one after.
Caitlin Clark, the #1 overall pick in the WNBA draft. You're wearing an Indiana Fever pin on your jacket.
Already got it on.
What are you most excited about in joining this Fever team?
I think I'm just excited about, going to Indianapolis, still kind of being in the Midwest, playing for an organization that cares so much about women's sports, women's basketball, but also has so much talent on their team and wants to get back to their championship ways. This organization has championship pedigree, and I couldn't be more excited to be a part of it.
You said after your name was called that you earned this moment. What went into this behind the scenes to make you earn this?
I think there's just the hard work. Like, there's been so many ups and downs throughout my career, and obviously a lot of really great things over the course of the last 2 years. And I think the biggest thing is, like, always believed in myself. I always had so much confidence, but that came from all the work that I put in, all the late nights in the gym, early mornings. Like, that's always what my confidence stemmed from, and that's what I'm super proud of. And yeah, I couldn't be more happy to join the Fever.
There's been a lot of conversation about how your elite collegiate game will translate into the W. Aaliyah Boston, your now teammate, last year's number 1 pick, she said what she's most excited about is your passing ability. How have you separated yourself as such an elite passer?
Yeah, I think passing is something that you can't really teach. It's something you kind of have to have a knack for the game, have a high basketball IQ. So, I'm somebody that kind of sees the game developed at a faster pace than, everybody around me or before a play even develops. So I think as a point guard, getting to play with such a great post in Aaliyah is like, your eyes just light up.
You had this goal since 2nd grade. Dream come true. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thousands of people packed into Gainbridge Fieldhouse last night to watch the Fever draft Caitlin Clark. We spoke with some of the women who were there, and they say excitement around Clark's move to Indianapolis is huge for women's sports.
So excited to watch the games and just see female representation and see women getting supported at the same level, if not more, than male sports has been really exciting.
One fan drove 2.5 hours from Bardstown, Kentucky to be at the draft party. She says it's important to show her own daughter how women's sports are being recognized.
Men's has always been on the forefront, so it's time for us to have some platform so that we can grow, and we're growing.
Clark will start training with the Fever at the end of this month. Clark's move to Indianapolis, though, brings more than 3-pointers and assists. It also means money for the team, the city, and the state. News 8's Andrew Chernoff takes a closer look.
When Caitlin Clark plays, she makes a big impact, both on and off the court.
We're getting sort of the whole package with her here in Indianapolis.
Dr. Michael Hicks from Ball State's Miller College of Business wanted to crunch the numbers, how Clark and Indy would make a difference for the local economy.
To do that, we compared her to other big superstar players over the past 4 decades in the NBA.
His economic study came up with the following. The Caitlin Clark effect is likely to bring in 26,000 more fans throughout the season, 10,000 of whom will visit from outside the region. That will lead to an increase of $2.4 million to the area.
He's very conservative in his initial estimate. And he said, let's just see what happens with TV. This is like a starting point. And then from there, the numbers are only going to go up.
You can feel the buzz surrounding Clark by just going to websites like SeatGeek, searching for Fever tickets. Prices definitely went up since she declared for the draft.
It's supply and demand. So, as tickets get more scarce because more people are attending the games, the prices go up. And that's more economic impact as well.
Restaurants, hotels, local businesses, all expected to benefit from the draw that Clark will bring to Indy.
They're just spending money in Indianapolis that would not have otherwise been spent.
All thanks to the hype surrounding the former Iowa guard.
The big effect of Caitlin Clark is potentially taking WNBA from a game that most Americans haven't seen to one that all Americans watch at some point over the year.
And with 36 Fever games on national TV, people will have plenty of chances to see Clark compete. Andrew Chernoff, Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
The marketing teams with the Fever and the league were clearly ready for this selection. You can now buy all kinds of gear with Caitlin Clark's name and number. Team Store has a collection in her name. The front page of the WNBA's website has jerseys, hoodies, and more. And retail outlets like Dick's and Fanatics have jerseys too. Fever play a preseason home game against the Atlanta Dream on May 10th. Regular season home opener is May 16th against the New York Liberty. The Fever had 3 selections last night and took guards with all of them. Clark at number 1, Celeste Taylor, who played for Texas, Duke, and Ohio State, and Leilani Correa from Florida and St. John's. The Seattle Storm took a Hoosier, IU's all-time leading scorer, Mackenzie Holmes.
If you ever need a quiet, private place to hoop it up, I built a full court at the governor's residence with the Fever logo on it.
That's Governor Holcomb personally welcoming Clark to Indianapolis and inviting her to the governor's mansion to play some basketball. He posted the video after the draft showing his phone call with the newest Fever star, and then the Fever posted a video of Caitlin talking to the governor. She says she can't wait to play in the basketball state. An Indiana Pacer is heading to France this summer. Our sports team reports that Tyrese Halliburton is on the 12-man roster for the Olympic Games. Halliburton played with Team USA on last year's fourth-place World Cup roster. He's the first Pacer to make an Olympic team since Paul George in 2016. Moving on to headlines this morning, they include two stories about mothers accused of severe mistreatment. A note of caution, the details in each are intense and maybe upsetting. A Brownsburg woman faces charges after police say she stomped and beat her daughter, who has special needs. According to our news gathering partners at WIBC, it happened just after 6 Sunday night at the Wendy's restaurant on Green Street. Police say Dana Ray Snyder tried to drag her daughter out of a booth, slapped her in the face a number of times, pulled her out of the restaurant, and stomped on her head and chest outside. Investigators believe the daughter vomited and cried out for help while Snyder beat her. Snyder faces battery charges and could spend up to 6 years in prison if convicted. IT-Mate is tracking today's court appearance of a woman accused of murder in the death of her 5-year-old daughter. According to documents from investigators, Tony McClure admitted to keeping her daughter Kinsley locked up in a closet, only feeding her one small meal a day. Detectives say the girl was covered in feces and lice the day she died. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears characterizes the case as torture.
We believe that this is one of those cases that warrants one of the most severe punishments under the law, and that is a life without parole sentence. When you see everything that this child went through, it didn't have to happen.
Tony McClure's boyfriend, Ryan Smith, is also due in court today on 3 counts of neglect and criminal confinement. McClure's mother, the girl's grandmother, is also facing charges. Today marks the second day of jury selection in the New York criminal case against Donald Trump. Outside the courtroom, the former president lashed out at the judge and prosecutors on social media. Inside, court watchers say he remained reserved and quiet. The New York Times reports Trump fell asleep in court at one point. He's the first former president ever to stand trial on criminal charges, accused of making hush money payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Legal experts warn jury selection alone could take a long time.
It's not a matter of who do you prefer, what your political leanings are. It's can you put that aside and judge the evidence from a fair and impartial basis.
The judge and attorneys have said they expect the trial to take roughly 6 weeks, and Trump must be in the courtroom for every day of it. This has been your News 8 Daily. From Wish TV, I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.